Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our closing plenary and helping to make this the most successful summer meeting of the National Governors Association ever. Before we formally transition and welcome Governor Stitt as our new chair of the National Governors Association, I want to thank all my fellow governors for this opportunity to have served as chair. It really has been a great honor. Thank you deeply for your confidence, your support, your participation in our Let's Get Ready Preparing for Success initiative. So too, thank you to our sponsors, our partners who make this work possible behind the scenes. Marlon and I have been really truly enjoyed working with each and every one of you. This last year's chair, of course, as vice chair, working with Spencer Cox on Disagree Better. And I look forward to hearing about and working with Governor Stitt on his exciting initiative, which we'll hear about in a few moments. In a few moments, you will hear about Governor Stitt's initiative. I would now like to invite him up, and I will officially give him and pass the gavel to Governor Stitt, and he will assume responsibility as the duties as the chair of the National Governors Association. Governor Stitt, it's a great honor and privilege to formally pass this gavel to you. We exchanged gifts earlier. We had a beautiful a cow from Rifle Skull that was painted with themes from Oklahoma and Colorado, red, white, and blue colors. We also, of course, the governors are a little unruly. You'll need to use this from time to time. And I want to thank you for stepping up and assuming the duties as chair of the National Governors Association for 2025 and 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Well, thank you guys so much, and thank you, Governor Polis, for your leadership and your friendship over this last year. You know, your commitment to education and the well-being of children is going to continue to pay dividends long after your term as governor has concluded. So let's give Governor Polis one more round of applause. I'm excited to announce NGA's leadership for the 2025-2026 year. And this year, our executive committee members are Hawaii's Governor Josh Green, Indiana Governor Mike Braun, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, and Tennessee Governor Bill Lee. And Colorado Governor Jared Polis will serve on the committee as past chair. Let's give them a round of applause for your willingness to serve. And I'm also so excited to announce that we have voted to elect Maryland Governor Wes Moore as vice chair and chair-elect. We're so excited to have your leadership, Wes. And lastly, I want to thank all the governors and all the sponsors in the room today for your support and your engagement in the National Governors Association. I'm honored to serve as your chair of this great organization. I look forward to working with each and every one of you this coming year. You know, as governors, we are uniquely positioned to lead our states and our country. We have the responsibility to shape the trajectory of our nation towards prosperity or towards apathy. Our nation was built on the idea that every person was created in the image of God, and the circumstances of your birth should not define the outcome of your life. You know, when our founding fathers pledged their lives, their fortunes, and sacred honor to this new country, they dreamed of something greater, of self-governance, freedom from tyranny. They sacrificed for a nation where you were only limited by your imagination, where the only opportunity unavailable to you was the one that you were unwilling to work for. And they put forth that the belief that our rights come from God, not the government. And this sparked a movement around the world, and it continues to inspire us today. And from that spark, our country became a launching pad for innovation, new agricultural practices, the light bulb to life-saving medications and massive technological advances. This idea inspired a notion that we could do the impossible. And we proved it with an airplane at Kitty Hawk to a man on the moon in 66 years. Imagine that for just a second. In this country, a child, regardless of his or her background, can grow up to be a teacher, a doctor, or a CEO, or even president. Even a shy pastor's kid from Norman, Oklahoma, can become governor. We live in a nation founded on the belief that you can achieve any dream God places on your heart. And yet, nearly 250 years later, that dream doesn't always seem so close. Nearly 50% of Americans believe that the American dream is out of reach. Does that mean the American dream is dead? Can I have a satisfying career? Can I afford to buy a house? Can I give my kids a better life than I had? As long as we have the freedom to get an education, to build a business or pursue a career, the American dream is not dead. And this year, we're going to reignite the belief in the American dream. And for the American dream to thrive, Americans need access to good jobs, a relevant, impactful education system, and energy that can power our future. First, we need to unlock opportunities for good jobs. States should foster a business-friendly environment for entrepreneurs to create jobs. And this is accomplished with pro-business policies and fewer regulations. Right now, states inject billions on siloed efforts to improve their workforce, but we're not seeing real results. This year, I'm going to partner with organizations like Good Jobs Economy and Google to help states build modern talent systems, ones that connect people to real opportunities. A good job is one that gives families the chance to live out their American dream, whether that be a home with a big yard in the suburbs or an apartment in the city. From running your family farm and sending your kids to college and every dream in between. I urge every state to explore innovative ways to do that. And one way would be creating a jobs fund in partnership with businesses and philanthropy. In Oklahoma, we're launching a $19 million pilot fund. And in Maryland, our vice chairman is looking to invest $25 million. These funds will allow us to innovate, disrupt outdated systems, and reward real results, paying for performance instead of propping up broken models. And we also need learning that lifts. The reality is that students will get good jobs if our education system is better aligned to students' interests and businesses' needs. And this year, we're going to explore innovative education models to better link education to careers. I love bragging about Oklahoma Aviation Academy. And it's a special public high school set up to train future pilots and aviation mechanics, starting their freshman year of high school. Here's the deal. Students need heroes. They need role models. I want us to look at how we can expand apprenticeships and internships so students get real-world training earlier in their academic career. We can give students meaningful experiences that lead to real jobs without saddling them with all this debt. And finally, we need to ensure our nation has the energy to power those dreams. Think about it for a second. In Europe, people spend 10% of their income on energy cost. compared to just 2% here in the U.S., making it so much harder for them to chase their dreams. We are so blessed to be here in the U.S., to have so many sources of energy, which actually drive down the prices. We need to take an innovative energy abundance approach and promote energy sources that best fit the needs of our residents and our economies. To win the AI race with all the energy demands, we have to lead across all fronts. And that means taking a fresh, free market approach to our energy needs, letting the market respond to the demands of our states. We need to take meaningful action on permitting reform. I've been proud to co-lead the National Permitting Reform Task Force with Governor Shapiro, and we're making real progress. This year, I invite you all to join us for convenings with experts, leading CEOs. We're going to go to Switzerland, Austin, and Philadelphia to explore practical steps to implement effective policy. And as governors, it's essential that we get the policies right. But just as important, it's time to restore faith in the promise that no matter where you come from, you can achieve your dreams. We are positioned here for such a time as this, not by accident, not by chance, but in a moment where the American people need hope. Hope that their future can be better than their present. Hope that the American dream is within reach. This is especially close to my heart because of my own American dream story. I'm a fourth-generation Oklahoman. My granddad was a dairy farmer in Skiatook, Oklahoma, with an 8th grade education. My parents were pastors in Norman. And when I was in college, I wrote my lifetime goals down. Goal number 8 was become governor. Then I scratched it out. It just seemed too big. I didn't know any governors. My parents weren't political. We weren't rich. So I crossed that goal out and I wrote, have dinner with the governor. Now I get to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the governor. Goal number 3 was start a business. And after graduation, with that list of goals tucked away, I decided to take a chance. While my friends were becoming medical device salesmen or accountants, I took the $1,000 I had in the bank and a computer and I started Gateway Mortgage. Many times, this dream, my American dream, came close to failure. During the housing crisis of 2008, I thought we were going to go out of business like thousands of other companies, but I refused to give up. I said to myself, it's not over until I win. And today, Gateway First Bank services over $20 billion in home loans across 42 states. We help thousands of people every single month chase their dream of home ownership. But one day in 2017, my faith was leading me to believe it was time to run for governor. I was so nervous and scared, but I knew it was time to chase that dream put into my heart so many years ago. And the beautiful thing about the American dream is there are as many dreams as there are people. You may not want to build a bank. Maybe you want to teach music. Maybe you want to start a restaurant. Maybe you'll be the next Marine One pilot. Whatever that dream is, don't let anyone tell you it's dead. As leaders, we can't teach people that there's such a thing as equal outcomes. But it's our job to make sure everyone has equal opportunities to chase their dream. The American dream doesn't need to be reimagined. It needs to be reignited. And as we prepare to celebrate the 250th birthday of America, we're going to do just that. No dream is out of reach, and no dream is dead until you give up. When everyone is telling us that we're too divided, that there's nothing that the right and the left can agree on, let's remind them that we agree on this, that we can reignite the American dream and make it possible for the next 250 years. Because the American dream is alive and well. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.
There's no single path to the American dream.
But every path demands vision, determination, and the grit to keep moving forward. Today, you'll hear 3 such stories. First, Governor Wes Moore, a combat veteran turned business leader and now Maryland's governor. Wes lost his father at a young age, grew up in the Bronx and Baltimore, then answered the call to serve in Afghanistan before launching a small business and leading a major anti-poverty nonprofit, Bridge EdU, to empower youth. His life is rooted in the pursuit of progress, not just for himself, but for every Maryland family who believes a better future is possible. Next, Mr. James Schubert, labeled a terrible student and told college wasn't for him. He served as a combat medic in Vietnam, facing challenging trials. But when he returned home, he shattered that label, earning degrees, building a business from the ground up, and later launching a venture capital empire. Today, Jim serves on the boards of the Gary Sinise Foundation and the Travis Mills Foundation, helping heroes heal. Jim Schubert's dream isn't just what he's built, it's what he gives back. And finally, Lieutenant Colonel John Ballinger, a 20-year Marine Corps pilot who was chosen to fly Marine One for 2 U.S. presidents. But before the medals and missions, he faced adversity, childhood hardships, personal loss, circumstances that could have ended his path. John Ballinger's story is one of transformation, from adversity to authority, from service to entrepreneurship. And now he works to spark the same spirit in others. 3 men, 3 journeys, 1 powerful thread. Each believed in something better and pursued it with courage, conviction, and purpose for themselves, for their families, and for their neighbor. Their American dream reminds us all to dream boldly and to serve selflessly. Please welcome Governor Wes Moore, Mr. James Schubert, and Lieutenant Colonel John Ballinger.